I'm Justin Young. When you think of medicine, what pops up in your head? Advil, Tylenol, Motrin? When you take these medications, you normally do not think about what is in the medicine that you're taking. You bought these medications from a pharmacist, so that means it is 100% legit, right? Wrong. People cleverly place false medications into almost identical packaging, and consumers usually have no idea that the medicine is fake until they start showing symptoms, which are often life-threatening. Today, I'll talk about how these medications are made and how we can stop counterfeits from leaking into our market. People who buy counterfeit drugs, or false drugs, think that it's a real deal, but in reality, these drugs are pills filled with dangerous fillers to hold the drug together. Normally, these counterfeit drugs are very cheap compared to the real one. Puts a new face on, you get what you pay for. Unlike to them, these products may look like a legit medication, yet they are really cleverly disguised. They have identical packaging, medicine size, and look to them. These drugs can be contaminated with hazardous chemicals and metals that seep into the medicine during production. These materials usually seep in during the process of shipping and handling, since these are illegally produced and the drugs made in a contaminated and unmandated environment. Since they are usually marketed as the real deal and they rip off an actual medication, because they market the fake product like a real working one, clients and consumers usually have no idea that the medicine that they're using is faked until they develop really horrible side effects. People who take false medications sometimes have iron levels 15 times the normal amount. The Food and Drug Administration wants to warn consumers about the possible dangers of buying medicines over the internet. Some websites sell prescription over-the-counter drugs that may not be safe to use and can put people's health at risk. They say in order to prevent buying counterfeit drugs, one must listen and follow advice from the FDA. In order to know what you're buying, you must buy certain drugs from a trustworthy website, and that the drugs are made from a trustworthy country. If the drugs were made in an untrustworthy country or place, the drugs that will on sale may not be safe or legit. These products, if removed, would have a significant impact on economies. India produces 75% of the world's counterfeit drugs, Egypt makes 7%, and China makes 6%. The other 11% of counterfeit drugs are produced in a multitude of countries and places, and they cannot be traced. The World Health Organization estimates that counterfeit or false drugs produce $32 billion worldwide each year. That's right, $32 billion. If that was removed from the economy, it would cause significant effect. GN Singh, India's top drug regulator, states that if he had to inspect facilities like with the U.S. standard, then he would have shut down all of them. The amount of money that flows into the economy because of this illegal trade is astronomical, and if it were shut down, it would be catastrophic to some economies, like India. If they follow strict regulations for every country's drug imports or production, many countries, which are mostly developing, would have to redo the entire system or shut down most of the facilities that produce them. Counterfeit drugs are like a vine on the economic tree. If it was ripped off the tree, it would damage the tree itself. If we let the seed of corruption, which is counterfeit drugs, take place, and it was let to blossom and root into some nations' economies, it would be too late to take it out. If it is not treated soon, then the roots of that seed will spread too far into the ground, and if we had to pull it out, we would damage the economy itself. If the continuation of contraband and fake drugs continues, then there will be no stopping the spread of corruption of medical production. If we take action now to prevent the slow seepage and taintment of drugs into our system, we might be able to stop the flower before it blooms. If we continue to shut a blind eye to this problem, then we will be stuck in a much deeper situation than if we took action. Many people are caught up with other problems such as terrorism, and we let these things slide. If we let these things slide, then sooner or later these things will emerge along with our old problems, which will lead to our resources being spread too thin to solve these problems. It's better if we act now and to treat the problem that is emerging in the U.S. market and other countries to stop the problem before it overtakes the drug systems. We should do this slow and steady without major actions in order to preserve the economy. If actions were made against counterfeit drugs, yet you still have no idea what and where they are, there are always ways to know what you're buying and to avoid buying the wrong product. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.